Hello everyone, this is a video that I wanted to get done as soon as I could. I've been busy. I've been busy over the last week, what with getting out of work later than usual, having to play my normal sports games, during the week that happen in real time, like the Bruins and Celtics and Red Sox now. Took me about 12 hours to update the entire MLB 15 The Show with, like the people that weren't on the 40-man rosters, people who hadn't been in the game the previous year, but were real MLB players with MLB careers. Giving an example, like Rodimus Liz. L-I-Z is the last name. He plays for Orioles. He hadn't been in the MLB since 2009. Or you had a guy like Sean Markham, who's been a reliever his whole life. He wasn't in baseball last year, but it was the year that he was there the year before. So it's been, suffice it to say, it's been a really busy week. I wanted to get this done earlier, but I'm doing it now. In preparation for the unboxing of in preparation for the unboxing of Mortal Kombat X. So this is video is gonna be a celebration of pretty much my time with Mortal Kombat. It's one of my favorite series ever. Might even be my favorite series of all time, video game wise. Because and I'm going to show all the games I have for the systems. I pretty much have every game, pretty much imaginable that you can think of. I'm missing a few, like, multi-platform ones for example, I'll have like Mortal Kombat 3 for the PlayStation, I just don't have it for the Saturn. Or I'll have Mortal Kombat, 4 for the PlayStation, but I don't have it for the N64. So I'm missing those, but I have every game pretty much ever released. I think the only one I'm missing is one for like R-Zone or something from Tiger, but other than that, I pretty much have everything that there is. And if you know that I'm missing one, please immediately comment on the section below. I'll try to grab it. For those of you who know ones that I am missing, I'll put you in for a prize drawing, an extra ticket for a prize drawing, if you can find one that I don't have. And what I mean by that is, like, I know I have Mortal Kombat 4 for the PS1. I know I don't have it for the N64. That doesn't count. I'm talking about an actual standalone game that I'm missing for a system. I think there might have been one for the N-Gage. I could be wrong. The Nokia N-Gage, so I already know I don't have that, but if you find something else, you know what, if you find something I don't have, I'll give you guys a $40 Visa card that you can spend on whatever you want, so I'll give that away, because you're helping me out. So, the bottom line is, I'm going to take you back through history, when I really started getting into Mortal Kombat, my thoughts on every game, my favorite ones, my least favorite ones, and things of that nature. So again, without further ado, let's dive into Mortal Kombat. I appreciate you guys watching this. And first thing we're going to go for is, or show I should say, is a VHS. Now, this had come out, when I go through this in order, I've pretty much, this is pretty much in numerical order as far as when released. So release date order, if you will. This video may not be, with the exception of this exact video, it may not be, but pretty much the games and the videos and things of that nature and the movies, they're pretty much released in conjunction when it was in their timeline. So, but this is Mortal Kombat the animated video, The Journey Begins. I did not know for the longest time, actually, good thing I'm looking at this. Here it says hidden inside combat codes to the Mortal Kombat 3 arcade and video games. So I'm pretty much going to move this into the correct timeline. So it's a good thing I'm actually doing this. So basically, Mortal Kombat 3, this would have come out after Mortal Kombat 2, but before the home versions of Mortal Kombat 3. So right around the time of the second movie, Annihilation. But anyway, so Mortal Kombat, the animated video, The Journey Begins. I knew there was a Mortal Kombat cartoon. I just never had cable as a kid. So, here it says, go one step beyond virtual reality with 3D animation like you've never seen before. And free inside, there's a coupon book with over $75 in discounts on Mortal Kombat merchandise, including free watch offer. Some coupons expire 12/31/95. So, well, it says some coupons expire, not all. But obviously, I think the coupons are gone. But basically, this video, it says, prepare yourself for virtual combat. Get tough, get mean, get ready. The heroes from the hard-hitting Mortal Kombat video game explode onto the screen in this pulse-pounding animated action-adventure video. Discover the origin of your favorite character as Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, and Liu Kang travel to a mystical land to fight Shang Tsung and Goro for their honor, their lives, and for the whole human race in a tournament called Mortal Kombat. Loaded with wall-to-wall action, this revolutionary video features sensational, never-before-seen special effects and awesome computer animation so real you won't believe your eyes. Let the tournament begin. An exclusive contains a free video of the making of Mortal Kombat, the movie. See the movie now. So the first Mortal Kombat movie came out right around the time of Mortal Kombat 3. The second one must have come out around 94, 97, which would have been Mortal Kombat 4. So I'm going to move the movies where I have them. But anyway, yeah, so this is the animated video, The Journey Begins. I do not believe this is the entire series. I think it's just one movie, I think. I don't know. Comment in the section below. It's 60, it's an hour, so comment in the section below. But anyway, that's that. So the first game I'm going to go into is the original Mortal Kombat. Now, when I was a kid, I want to say it was, right around 1992. I was 8 years old. And I remember seeing a commercial on TV for Mortal Kombat. And what I thought it was completely different. So I go over to my friend Sam Kessner's house in middle school. And his older brother had Mortal Kombat. And Sam says to me, hey, do you want to see Mortal Kombat? And I'm like, yeah, I want to see Mortal Kombat because I remember what I thought I remembered on the TV commercial. So we go into his living room, and his brother's there playing Mortal Kombat, and I was like, what the hell is this? I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is this? This isn't what I saw on the commercial, TV commercial. This isn't what I thought it was. And what I saw was two combatants going at it in a fighting game. I'm like, I thought because the commercial was so fast-paced, I thought Mortal Kombat was like a Streets of Rage type of game. I did not know that it was just a fighting game. So that was my first taste into Mortal Kombat. So that's how that went. Mortal Kombat 2 had then just come out in arcades, and I was hooked on Mortal Kombat 2. When I used to go to my local arcade at the mall, it's called Dream Machine was the name of the store. Dream Machine was basically Chuck E. Cheese without pizza. It was just an arcade, and you won tickets, and you got prizes. So anyway, there was a crowd around the cabinet of Mortal Kombat 2, and I saw Mortal Kombat 2, the visuals, the graphics, the fatalities, the music, the new characters, and I was instantly hooked. When I saw Mortal Kombat 2, I was instantly hooked. Mortal Kombat 2 was really what got me into the series. And to this day, and I'll elaborate on this later, to this day I still think it's the best Mortal Kombat of all time. But at the time Mortal Kombat 2 was in arcades, Mortal Kombat 1 obviously had just been released. And on home consoles, I did not have a Genesis. I did not have a Super Nintendo. I only had a Game Boy at the time. And I remember going into Record Town, which is a now defunct company. FYE bought out Record Town way back, in the day. But Record Town is what it was called. And I remember seeing Mortal Kombat for the Game Boy on sale. It was like $25.99 if I recall. And I begged my mom to get it, and she did. And it was the happiest day of my life. And what I want to show you guys, this isn't the original one that I had, obviously. But this is Mortal Kombat for the original Game Boy. Prepare yourself for the #1 arcade smash. So there's that. This is complete in box. It has the instructions in-game. The case, the box is a bit crunched over here. But all in all, it's not a bad copy. And I remember playing this. And I was like, I knew the Game Boy was what it was, and I knew, but I had never really played the Genesis version. And so I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I knew there was no blood. They had like little brown or black splotches, so there was a little bit of something, but you couldn't tell it was blood, obviously. You could imagine that it was. And it had, some of the moves in it, but not all. I'm trying to think if it had any fatalities. I think it did, from what I can remember. But all in all, it was missing Kano. I remember it did not have Kano from the first Mortal Kombat, so it was missing a character. Likewise, the Game Gear version was missing Johnny Cage. Oh no, hold on a minute now. Wait a minute. I think the Game Boy version was missing Johnny Cage, and I think the Game Gear version was missing Sonya, I want to say. Let's open this up, and let's see exactly who the combatants are from the first Mortal Kombat. So, on the back here it says, prepare yourself, the #1 arcade hit is here, from Sub-Zero, Raiden, and your favorite combat warriors, to the grueling endurance and intense mirror matches, execute bone-shattering combos and ferocious finishing moves, defeat the half-human dragon Goro, and destroy the shape-changing Shang Tsung to become the supreme Mortal Kombat warrior. So the in-game graphics, Liu Kang's devastating airstrike, finish him, get over here, and Raiden's deadly torpedo. So if we open the box up, I'm going to try to be as careful as I can. Okay, let's grab the instruction booklet out of here. It may actually show the combatants. Okay, we're going back in time into this instruction booklet. They had a little comic here. The Shaolin Tournament for Martial Arts. For ages, it was a competition of honor and glory. Noble warriors from around the globe were invited to take part, each seeking to win the title of Grand Champion. But that was a long time ago, before the tournament was corrupted by the evil demon Shang Tsung, a warrior who took not only the lives of his opponents, but their very souls. With the aid of his pupil Goro, a hideous half-human dragon, Tsung began a domination of the contest which has lasted for centuries. Today, 500 years later, the contest begins anew as warriors once again gather to partake in Mortal Kombat. There's a little combat thing. Okay, yeah, the Game Boy version is missing Johnny Cage. I'm going to try to see who the Game Gear version is missing. But graphically, I mean, it was as good as it could get. I'll try to do a close-up here. These are basically your combatants for the Game Boy version. You have Kano, Raiden, Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Sonya, so it's missing Cage. I think the Game Gear version was missing either Kano or Sonya, but so that's how that works. And you have the basic moves, the art of combat, crouching moves, when in close quarters, aerial moves, spinning moves, special moves, wisdom of the fighting monks. So wisdom of the fighting monks. The mind is stronger than the body. Observe fights to learn which moves counteract others, which can be executed faster, and which do the most damage. For example, a crouch block is very quick and will prevent you from being foot-swept. Use this type of knowledge to your advantage. With practice, you can learn combinations of moves which can be executed in sequence. These combinations allow you to hit your opponent several times before he can defend himself, making them an invaluable tool. One battle plan will not work for every fighter. Since each warrior has different strengths and moves, each should employ a different fighting style. Experiment to discover which strategies are best suited to each fighter. So, you got Liu Kang, who's 24 in this game. He's 5'10", 185 pounds. He has black hair, brown eyes. Legal status, citizen of the People's Republic of China. His known relatives are Li Kang, who's his father, who's dead. Lin Kang, who's his mother, who is dead. Chao Kang, who is his brother, whereabouts unknown. And if you've seen the Mortal Kombat movie, you know what happened to his brother. Birthplace, Honan Province, China. And occupation, Shaolin monk and a fisherman. Then you have, then this is a little biography. Once a member of the super-secret White Lotus Society, Liu Kang left the organization in order to represent all Shaolin temples at the tournament. Through his entire life, he has heard stories and rumors about Shang Tsung's martial arts tournament. He is well aware of the evil behind it and has entered the tournament expressly to defeat Shang Tsung and return the tournament to its noble origins. So, his special moves are Flying Kick, which is towards kick. And the finishing move, it doesn't tell you, but it allows you to try to find it on your own. And then there's a little comic here. It says, your mind and spirit must work as one to walk with the wind. These attributes will enable you to put an end to Shang Tsung's treachery. That's the monk talking to Liu Kang. The monk then says, I grant you permission, Liu Kang, the Shaolin defend on your victory. I will not fail. That is my promise, says Liu Kang. So then there's Kano, who's 35. He's 6 foot, 205 pounds, black hair, one brown and one infrared eye built into metal implant. His legal status, deported from Japan, wanted criminal in 35 countries. His known relatives are none. He was orphaned as a small child by an American woman in Tokyo. His birthplace is unknown, and his occupation is a criminal member of the Black Dragon organization. Kano, mercenary thug, extortionist thief. Kano lives a life of crime and injustice. He is a devoted member of the Black Dragon, a dangerous group of cutthroat madmen, feared and respected throughout all of crime's inner circles. Believing Sung's palace to be made of gold, Kano has entered the tournament in order to gain access and loot the palace. So the special moves he has is a cannonball, torch, down, away, hold block to spin in place. And then it leaves you room for his finishing move. And the comic says, and after I win this tournament, I want the entire Black Dragon gang there. I mean all of them, from Shanghai to Chicago. I hear there's a palace on that island, walls made of gold. We'll be looting for months. Sonya Blade, 26, 5 foot 10, 140 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes, legal status, citizen of the United States of America. Known relatives, Major Herman Blade, who's her father, Erica Blade, who's her mother, and Daniel Blade, twin brother, who's deceased. Birthplace, Austin, Texas. Occupation, lieutenant in the U.S. Army, member of a special paramilitary force. Sonya Blade is a member of a top special forces unit. Her team was hot on the trail of Kano's Black Dragon. Her unit followed Kano to an uncharted island, but were ambushed by Shang Tsung's personal army. Sung forced Sonya into the tournament by holding comrades hostage. Now, not only does her own life rest on her performance, but those of her companions as well. Special move is a leg grab, duck stand block. And then the comic, Lieutenant Sonya Blade, we found her following one of my ships to this sacred island. Like all of you, her life depends on her performance in the tournament. But so do the lives of her companions. Shang Tsung's talking to everybody. You got Raiden, who's eternal. He's 7 feet, 350 pounds, black hair, no eyes. He's a mystic, does not apply for his legal status. He has no known relatives, and his occupation is a warrior. The name Raiden is actually that of a mystical warrior who lives among the thunderclouds. It is rumored that he received a personal invitation from Shang Tsung himself and took the form of a human to compete in the tournament. Raiden's elemental power makes him a dangerous foe from both the land and the air. Special moves, Flying Thunderbolt, away, 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 towards. In the comic, I ask of you once more, accept this invitation and compete in my great and noble tournament, or do you fear the dangers of Mortal Kombat? I accept your invitation and give you this warning, Raiden says. Sub-Zero, his real name unknown, he's 32, 6 foot 2, 210 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, legal status is none. However, he resides somewhere in China. He has no known relatives, his birthplace is unknown, and his occupation, a lifelong member of the Lin Kuei, a clan of Chinese ninjas. The actual name and origin of this warrior is unknown. However, based on his uniform, it is believed he belongs to the Lin Kuei, a legendary clan of Chinese ninjas. As his name implies, he is mastered the element of cold. His deep freeze leaves an opponent at his mercy. A dangerous situation for Sub-Zero possesses none. Special free moves, deep freeze away towards kick, and his finishing move. And then the comic, you are a fool for sparing my life. That has yet to be seen. That's Scorpion in the background, I imagine. And here's Scorpion, real name unknown, 32, 6 foot 2, 210 pounds, black hair, his eyes vary. Legal status, Scorpion is a reincarnated specter and has no legal status. His known relatives, wife and child in a former life. Birthplace and former life unknown, a Scorpion unknown. Occupation and former life unknown, a Scorpion revenge. Like Sub-Zero, Scorpion's true name and origin are not known. It is believed, however, that he is a fallen ninja granted the opportunity to avenge his death at the hands of the Lin Kuei. He has been given a new body and a uniform which mocks the Lin Kuei's with its cowardly yellow color. Special moves are Harpoon, Back Punch in the comic. Look into my eyes. No, it can't be. Sub-Zero says. Scorpion says, yes, you murdered me exactly 2 years ago to this day, but my demons have allowed me to return to avenge my death. I could kill you at this moment, but I am not a murderer. We will meet at the tournament, and then, Lin Kuei, you will pay for your crimes. And then Goro, his age is 2000. He's 8 foot 2, 550 pounds, black hair, red eyes. Legal status, Earth, none. In Outworld, he's Prince of Kutan. Known relatives, King Gorbak, father, Queen Mai. Or King Gorbak, who's his father. Queen Mai, who's his mother. Goro also has 7 wives. Birthplace, Kutan, 4th astral plane of Shokan, realm of the Outworld. Occupation, Prince of Kutan, ruler supreme of Shokan's armies. 2,000-year A 2,000-year-old half-human dragon, Goro remains undefeated for the past 500 years. He won the title of Grand Champion by defeating Kung Lao, a Shaolin fighting monk. It was during this period that the tournament fell into Shang Tsung's hands and was corrupted. Goro possesses both massive strength and great agility. None who have fought him have reported any weaknesses. In fact, none who have opposed him have survived. And then they give you a notes section, and that's it. And then there's advertisement for the Itchy and Scratchy show for the Game Boy and Spider-Man 3 for the Game Boy. But anyway, when I was a kid, going back into this game, I didn't know about, now I when I play it, I realize, okay, there was massive amounts of slowdown. There was massive amounts of, it didn't have, I think all the fatalities were different. There were only like 2 or 3 stages in the game, from what I remember. So it wasn't the same thing as the Genesis version, obviously. But to me, it was awesome. I remember going home to my grandmother's house as soon as we were done from shopping, and my mom visited my grandmother, and I immediately played that game. I threw that thing right at my Game Boy, and I was like, this is pretty cool, man. So that was my first ever Mortal Kombat game for a handheld console. Then obviously, as I got older, I got more systems. I was always a generation behind. So when Genesis and when Nintendo and Game Boy first came out, I didn't have anything. When Genesis and Super Nintendo came out, I finally had a Game Boy. When Nintendo 64 and PlayStation came out, and Saturn, I finally had a Genesis. And so on and so on and so forth. But this is Mortal Kombat for the actual Genesis arena. Now, this game came out for the Super Nintendo and Genesis. This is the most notable version because it actually had the blood in it, whereas the Super Nintendo version did not. It had sweat. Because at the time, the ESRB, and this is what caused this to happen, the ESRB needed to start rating games. So this is parental discretion advised, mature audience 13. Nintendo really didn't want its image to be defiled by having blood in the game. As such, the Genesis version outsold the Super Nintendo version by 1,000,000%, and Genesis sales skyrocketed because of this. So then when they created Mortal Kombat 2 and that came out, the Nintendo finally realized its flaw and said, screw it, I'll put the blood back in. And they allowed the blood, and the Super Nintendo version of Mortal Kombat 2, everyone says, is the best version, not only graphically, but with the music and everything else. But I remember finally, when I had a Genesis, getting this, and I was really excited because obviously it had all the characters. It was a game I remember from the arcades, from my friend Sam's house. And so here are some of the graphics. Just want to open this up quickly and just see if there is anything different from this instruction booklet that there was maybe in the... Now, here's a different comic. So the comic says, for ages it was a competition of honor and glory. Noble warriors from around the globe were invited to take part, each seeking to win the title of Grand Champion. But that was a long time ago, before the tournament was corrupted by the evil demon Shang Tsung, a warrior who took not only the lives of his opponents, but their very souls. With the aid of a pupil Goro, a hideous half-human dragon, Tsung began a domination of the contest, which has lasted for centuries. Today, 500 years later, the contest begins anew as warriors once again gather to partake in Mortal Kombat. So, it shows you the basic moves, crouching moves, same sort of thing that it did in the Game Boy version, and then the same sort of, it's the same biographies, as you will, if you will. Oh, well, Johnny Cage, let's read Johnny Cage's bio only because it wasn't in the Game Boy version. Johnny Cage, his real name is John Carlton. He's 29, 6'1", 200 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. His legal status is citizen of the United States of America. Known relatives, Robert Carlton is his father, Rose Carlton is his mother, Rebecca Carlton is his sister, and Cindy Ford, wife, divorced. Birthplace, Venice, California. Occupation, actor. And his little biography says... A martial arts superstar trained by great masters from around the world, Cage uses his talents on the big screen. He is currently box office champ, starring in such movies as Dragon Fist and Dragon Fist 2, as well as the award-winning Sudden Violence. He entered the tournament purely for the publicity it would generate for him around the world. Despite his seeming shallowness, he's a formidable foe with limber limbs, quick reflexes, and his patented shadow kick. Special moves are shadow kick away towards low kick, and the comic says, "That's all I needed. A moment of distraction is all the star needs to deliver his patented shadow kick." And it looks like Kano's getting the brunt of that, but then we keep going to the end. Yeah, and here's Goro from the arcade version. So anyway, that's... oh, it's missing the back. I gotta fix it. I gotta find an actual Mortal Kombat instruction booklet that's not ruined like this. I did not know it was like this. But anyway, so I got Mortal Kombat 1 for the Genesis when obviously I had a Genesis. Now the next thing I'm going to show you guys is the actual novel that took place, I think, before the movie came out. And this is a pretty cool prequel, if you will, with Kung Lao, the original Kung Lao, not the Mortal Kombat 2 version of Kung Lao. And it's by Jeff Roven. First time in print, the untold story of the heroes and villains of Mortal Kombat and how they became the most powerful warriors in the universe. I remember picking this up at Walden Books way back. This isn't the original one, but the copy I got was back in Walden Books, based on characters created by Ed Boon and John Tobias from Midway Manufacturing Company. So it's a pretty cool book, man. You guys should pick this up. If you're a Mortal Kombat freak like I am, go to Amazon. It should still be there. I think that's how I got my copy, or eBay. And pick it up. Back then it was $5. But before honor, before glory, before challenging superhuman foes for the fate of Earth, they had to prove themselves worthy of immortality. Mortal Kombat. Finally, in this all-new original novel, the unknown origins of your favorite heroes and villains, the brave Liu Kang, the lethal Sonya Blade, and the vile Shang Tsung. Now their stories can be told. Who they are, where they came from, what secrets they hide, and how they fought for a mysterious amulet that held the key to their future. The future of Mortal Kombat. Pretty good read. Pick it up. I don't remember exactly what happens in the book. I read it almost 20 years ago. But you should grab it. And then the next thing on the agenda is the Mortal Kombat DVD. Nothing in this world has prepared you for this. Mortal Kombat. A rock'em sock'em action flick, 4 stars. I remember seeing previews for this at the movie theater with my dad and my sister. And when I saw previews for this, I couldn't believe it. I think the whole theater went nuts. Because obviously the ones who were there knew what Mortal Kombat was. And I couldn't wait. It looked awesome. It's more than just the movie. The contents of this CD-sized disc include both widescreen and regular full-frame versions of the film, multiple languages and subtitles, high-quality Dolby Digital multi-channel surround sound, original theatrical trailer, background information on the combatants, and more. View Mortal Kombat in the finest quality available for your home theater with the sharpest picture and best sound. Strap yourself in for pulse-pounding action, star-powered adventure, and cutting-edge special effects with awesome morphing sequences beyond your wildest dreams. Summoned to a mysterious island, 3 martial arts warriors engage in the ultimate battle of good against evil, the supernatural tournament of Mortal Kombat. And the cool thing about this is, Christopher Lambert, who was in the Highlander series, he played Raiden. And he was just an awesome Raiden. I mean, he was an awesome Raiden. The whole movie, I thought, was awesome. It really was. Yeah, I mean, it was a great movie. A lot of people aren't, thrilled with the movie, but you know what? For what it was, it's a great movie. Now, I am missing, and I've seen every episode of it. I can't find it. I don't think it got released on DVD in the U.S., but there was a TV series called Mortal Kombat. Oh boy, I forget what the hell it was called. It was Mortal Kombat something, but it was on Channel 68 back in Boston, which never came in, so I could never really watch it. I could hear it, but there was no picture, because we never really got Channel 68 on regular TV. But the bottom line is, I know I'm missing that TV series. We never had it, or I don't think it ever got released in the U.S. So that was, the first foray into Mortal Kombat for me as far as on a handheld system, but what really got me excited was Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2, as I said before, when I got into the line, when I saw the lines at the arcade, my favorite thing was going to the arcade on the weekends. My mom would shop or do whatever, and I'd just stay there. I didn't want to play, I just wanted to watch everybody play it. There was this one guy who, let's see, I must have been in 12. He must have been 25, maybe even 30. He looked like he could have been 30. But he literally was a short, fat guy who had a backwards hat on and always wore khaki shorts. And he had I'm trying to think of the name brand sneakers that he had. I forget. They weren't like a Reebok or a Nike. They were like I forget what the hell it was called. It was a weird brand. But anyway, it wasn't like a Nike or Adidas or something. It was like a non-sports type shoe. But everybody wore the shoe. I forget the name of the shoe. But anyway, he would stand there and he literally would annihilate people. He would sit there on the same quarter that he put in for hours. Nobody could beat this guy. Same thing when Mortal Kombat 3 came out and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 came out in the arcades. Nobody could beat this dude. He was the master of it. But I remember wanting to watch the fatalities and how the screen got really dark. The vibrant colors. It was just... I mean, the mythology behind Mortal Kombat 2, you know, the opening sequences of Mortal Kombat 2, the opening title sequence of Mortal Kombat 2, when the lightning came down and the title screen appeared. I mean, it was just the stages, the music, the colors, the graphics, the sound effects, Dan Forden shouting out Toasty, the secrets, fighting Jade and Smoke, the stages like Living Forest, the Deadpool. I mean, just seeing from now we know Hornbuckle and Blaze in the background when Liu Kang's fighting on the pit or whatever that stage is. I think it's the pit 2 or whatever it was called. I mean, or not Liu Kang, or anybody was fighting on that stage. It was Hornbuckle and Blaze, the guy who looked like Liu Kang, or just a color palette swap. But anyway, I mean, I was so pumped when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, and it was one of my favorite, to this day, I love the game. Compared to all the other ones. I mean, Mortal Kombat 2 was just that good. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you're probably nodding your heads right now in agreement. Because sometimes I'll go on a YouTube and just Google or YouTube Mortal Kombat 2 or whatever, and I'll hear people talking about it, and I'll be nodding my head. Because the same memories they have of the game are the same memories and thoughts and feelings I have of the game. I still think to this day it's just the best game. It just really is. So, the first copy ever of Mortal Kombat 2 that I ever had was, again, for the Game Boy, because I did not have a Genesis at the time. But here it is, Mortal Kombat 2. And graphically, it was so much better and so much faster than the first Mortal Kombat for the Game Boy. They did a great... I still think to this day it's the best version on the Game Boy. Now, this came in this weird packaging. Somebody taped it. Let me see if I can... open. This obviously is not the same version I had back then, but I don't think I've opened this. Yeah, the guy taped the packaging on it. I don't think I've opened this since I bought it almost a year ago off of eBay. But let me see if we can open this, and yeah, here we go. Okay, so let me take this out very gently. It's in pretty damn good shape for what it is. There's a little, ripping here. And on the back, little rip in the corner there. But for the most part, it's pretty damn good shape. Nothing can prepare you. The fierce combatants of the #1 arcade smash gather for Mortal Kombat 2. A battle to defeat the shape-shifting demon Shang Tsung and his ruthless master Shao Kahn. Brutal special moves, babalities, hidden surprises, outrageous finishing moves, all yours to command. Let the combat continue. Toasty, Dan Forden even made it to Game Boy. Babality, gotcha. Finish him, and is that your best? And the funny thing about this, and it's a good thing I just looked at this, yeah, I forgot, babalities were part of Mortal Kombat 2, friendships were part of Mortal Kombat 2, friendships were not part of the Game Boy version of Mortal Kombat. They only had babalities and the fatalities, but that was it. And there's only 2 stages. There was only 2 stages in Mortal Kombat 2 for the Game Boy, and you see them right here. Where you fight Shao Kahn at the end of the game, and then this, I believe, was the pit level. I still, to this day, the music isn't the greatest, but I still was better than... Everything improved upon the first one by 1,000,000%. Not just in real life, but also for the Game Boy version. I still remember the music. I still hum it. Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. That's how the stage music was in the Game Boy version. As you can see, this is pretty much complete. I even got the tray with the Mortal Kombat 2 game in its case. I got the instruction booklet in mint condition, pretty much. Then I also have the "Whoa, you're not going to believe what's inside Nintendo Power" advertisement, and I have an Acclaim poster with some advertisements for Mortal Kombat, King of the Ring, Spider-Man, X-Men, NFL Quarterback Club, NBA All-Star Challenge 2, The Simpsons, Bart and the Beanstalk, and the Alien 3, it looks like, and T2, the arcade game, and the Simpsons Itchy and Scratchy Miniature Golf Madness for the Game Boy. So that's pretty cool. But if we go to the instruction booklet itself, we'll just see. Here we go. Here's a story. Nothing can prepare you. 500 years ago, the shapeshifter Shang Tsung was banished from the Outworld to the Mother Realm, which is Earth, for his crimes. There, with the aid of his pupil Goro, a hideous half-human dragon, he was to atone for his crimes by unbalancing the furies of the realm, allowing his master Shao Kahn and his minions to enter the Dominion and rule forever. He was defeated. He returned to the Outworld a failure, facing execution at the hands of Shao Kahn, supreme ruler of the Outworld, the astral planes of Shao Kahn, and the surrounding kingdoms. With the apparent demise of Goro, his fate seemed sealed. But Tsung told Kahn of his plan for revenge. A plot so evil and twisted, even Kahn was persuaded to grant him one final opportunity to redeem himself. He cleverly lured his adversaries to the bizarre Outworld, where they would face a new challenge, a tournament hosted by Shao Kahn himself. Today, the tournament begins again. And the cool, look at I mean, this is a color instruction booklet for the Game Boy. Even the instruction booklet's unbelievable. So, as you can see, obviously, they did not have all the characters in Mortal Kombat 2 for the Game Boy. They have Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Katana, Scorpion, or Reptile, Shang Tsung, Mileena, Scorpion, and Jax. Those are the ones that are available. Johnny Cage, again, is not part of this. I'm trying to think who else is not part of this that I can remember. Obviously, Smoke, the hidden character. I think Smoke is a hidden character in this, or I think it's Jade, actually, was one of the hidden characters that you could fight. But I know we're missing people. Kano was not part of Mortal Kombat 2 anyway, neither was Sonya, because you can see them in the arcade version. They're chained to that thing. So, I mean, this is pretty cool. You got Rules of the Outworld. Now, this also came, has nothing to do with why I like the game, obviously, but this came within a warranty card. So, an Acclaim Game Boy Game Pack warranty registration card. So I'm going to leave that in here. That's pretty cool. The Art of Combat #2. Special moves. Warrior Wisdom. So they give you notes. Patience is a warrior's greatest ally. Wait for your opponent to attack, then counterattack him when he's most vulnerable. Timing is crucial to landing many moves. Practice often to learn timing secrets. With practice, combinations of moves can be learned, which allow a warrior to hit his opponent several times before he has an opportunity to defend himself, making them an invaluable tool. Every warrior has different strengths and weaknesses in terms of speed and movement. Discovering these styles allows you to both use them better and combat them better. And then you have the warrior profiles. So you have Liu Kang. After winning the Back to Shaolin tournament from Shang Tsung's twisted clutches and returning him to the outworld in disgrace, Liu Kang returned to his temples. He discovered his sacred home in ruins. His Shaolin brothers lost in a vicious battle with a horde of outworld warriors, a parting salvo from Tsung and his minions. Now he travels into the Dark Realm to seek revenge. And the special moves are standard fireball, towards punch, crouching fireball, down towards punch, flying kick, towards kick, bicycle kick, hold kick for 3 seconds, then release. Reptile. Shang Tsung's personal protector, Reptile lurks in the shadows, stopping all those who would do his master harm. His human form is believed to disguise a horrific reptilian creature whose race was thought extinct millions of years ago. He enters the contest hoping to defeat all and protect his master. His special moves: Acid Spit, towards punch, Force Ball, away, punch and kick together, Invisibility, hold block, and up, down, punch, Slide, away plus punch, away, and punch and kick together. Then you have Sub-Zero. Thought to have been vanquished in the Shaolin tournament, Sub-Zero mysteriously returns. It is believed the secretive member of the Lin Kuei, a legendary clan of Chinese ninjas, has traveled into the Outworld to again attempt an assassination of Shang Tsung. To do so, he must fight his way through Shao Kahn's tournament. His special moves: Deep Freeze, down towards punch, Ground Freeze, down away kick, Slide, away, and punch and kick together. Shang Tsung. After losing control of the Shaolin tournament and returning to the Outworld in disgrace, the shapeshifter Shang Tsung promises ruler Shao Kahn that he could still unbalance the Furies and allow Kahn to take over the Earth. His plan was to lure the Earth warriors to compete in the Outworld and then, win or lose, never to let them return. Convinced of this plan, Shao Kahn restored Tsung's youth. Because if you remember, Shang Tsung in the first game was an old man. Now he's like a 20-year-old. The special moves: there's Flaming Skulls. So if you do one of them, it's away, punch. If you want two of them to come out, away, towards punch. And if you want three to come out, away, towards punch. And the morphs: if you want to morph as Liu Kang, away, towards block. Reptile, you're going to hold block and then up, down, up. Sub-Zero, towards, down, towards, kick. Katana, block, block, block. Jax, down, towards, away, punch. Melina, hold punch for 2 seconds, then release. And Scorpion, block, plus up, up. Then you have Katana. Katana's beauty hides her savage role as a personal assassin for Shao Kahn. Seen talking to an Earthrealm warrior, her motives have come under suspicion by her twin sister Melina, but only Katana knows her own true intentions. Special moves: fan swipe, away and punch, fan throw, towards, punch and kick together, fan lift, away, away, punch, square wave, punch, down, away, punch. Jax. Major Jackson Briggs was leader of the U.S. Special Forces unit, of which Lieutenant Sonya Blade was a member. After receiving a signal from Lieutenant Blade, Jax embarks on a rescue mission, hoping to retrieve both Sonya and the elusive Kano, wanted criminal and leader of the Black Dragon organization. Sonya's trail leads him into the ghastly outworld, where he believes both Sonya and Kano to be held prisoner. Special moves: ground pound, hold punch for 3 seconds, then release. Grab, towards, punch. Sonic wave, towards, down, kick. Backbreaker, block while in air with opponent. Melina. Serving as an assassin along with her twin sister Katana, Melina's dazzling appearance conceals her hideous intentions. At Shao Kahn's request, she is asked to watch her twin's suspected dissension and must put a stop to it at any cost. And then special moves, you have teleport, kick, towards, kick, which, well, by the way, is one of my favorite moves in the game for Melina. It was an awesome, quick, fast move. Roll attack, away, away, down, kick, and side throw. Hold punch for 2 seconds, then release. Scorpion. This reincarnated Spectre is back after learning of Sub-Zero's return. He again stalks the Ninja Warrior, following him into the dark realm of the Outworld, where he continues his personal mission to avenge the loss of his family at the hands of the Lin Kuei clan. Special moves: spear, away, away, punch, decoy, down, away, punch, air throw, block while in air with opponent. And Shao Kahn. The supreme ruler of the Outworld, Shao Kahn governs the astral planes of Shokan and all surrounding kingdoms. 500 years ago, he banished the shapeshifter Shang Tsung into the Mother Realm, which is Earth, to pay for his crimes. Shang Tsung was to unbalance the Furies and create a weakness in Earth's dimensional gates. This weakness in the gates would allow Khan and his minions to forever walk the Earth and plague its inhabitants to a dark and chaotic existence. Only then would Shang Tsung be cleared of his offense and the curse lifted. And then this was cool. So, available in December while supplies last. Watch for supersized 12-inch figures, too. The Mortal Kombat. Kick into action with Mortal Kombat figures and accessories. If you think you're tough enough to hit the next level in hand-to-hand combat, check out Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, Raiden, and Sub-Zero. Action figures with shooting weapons and ninja action moves. Fight back with Kano's combat cycle and Reptile's Dragon MK1 attack boat, each with a shooting launcher from Hasbro. Mortal Kombat, it's not just a game anymore. And then an advertisement for NBA Jam. As I was reading through this instruction booklet for you guys, I remember some of the other characters not in this game for the Game Boy. Raiden was one of them. Kung Lao was one of them. And obviously we talked about Johnny Cage not being one of them. So I think that might have been it. I think those are the three that were missing. There could be more, which we'll get to. The other interesting thing is the artwork for Shang Tsung in this Mortal Kombat 2 instruction booklet make him out to be almost like a demon, or not an... In every game and every photo I've ever seen of Shao Kahn, with the exception of that, he's a human. So... or he's human-like, I should say. He spills red blood and everything else. But anyway, this is an interesting game, and I remember getting it. And one of the other things I always remembered is I wanted to see if there was any cheat codes. You know, like I wanted to look up fatalities, because back then the internet was just in its infancy, or hadn't even almost been created yet, so a lot of people didn't have it. So the only time you could get cheat codes were if you looked at like Electronic Gaming Monthly and stuff like that. And I remember going to Walden Books, looking for anything I could find to see if there were any cheat codes for Mortal Kombat 2, or see if there were any hidden what do you call it? Hidden like codes, just to see if you could fight as anybody, or hidden secrets, or what the babalities were, because friendships weren't in the game. Friendships weren't in the game. There were only 2 stages. It was missing a bunch of people. On top of that, Kentaro, the sub-boss, was not in this version. So, but all in all, still to this day, I remember Mortal Kombat 2 is one of the best games still to this day in the series, and one of my favorites. And I think forever it'll be one of my favorites. I don't think there'll be a time when it won't be. So, oh no, did I just ruin the whole tape thing? I think I did. Let me just see if I can put it down here. Hopefully it stays. So the next thing we're going to look at is Mortal Kombat 2 for the Genesis, because obviously I have it. And this got a MA17 rating. Not appropriate for minors. So, take a look at the back here. You got Finish Him, Liu Kang's Dragon Fatality. I remember when people saw that, they're like, you could morph into animals? I mean, a lot of, like, rumors would start going on that people could morph into animals and fatality people, and everybody had an animal, which obviously sparked the animalities for Mortal Kombat 3. Smoke awaits. You can see Smoke hiding in the background of the living forest. Kintaro's Revenge. No Mercy from Shang Tsung, all 12 combat warriors. So yeah, we are missing only 3, which are, Baraka was one of them we're missing. Raiden's one of them we're missing. Johnny Cage and Kung Lao. So 4 of them we were missing from the Game Boy version. Because on the Game Boy version, I think there were, I don't know. I forget already. Is That Your Best? And then Friendship. So, yeah, from the Game Boy version, Johnny Cage, Kung Lao, Baraka, and Raiden were not in the game. But if we look through Mortal Kombat 2, now this is in pretty mint condition, this instruction booklet here. Let me just see if there are any back or anything else. Okay, so the story is the same as the Game Boy one, so we don't have to go into that. There's Kintaro. Rules of the Outworld. Okay, pretty easy. Alright, so this is a little bit of it. Once a warrior has defeated the other combatants in the tournament, he then takes on the first of his Outworld hosts, the demon Shang Tsung. His youth restored by his master Shao Kahn, Tsung possesses both powerful magic and considerable physical skill. Should a warrior defeat Tsung, his next opponent is the massive Kintaro. Kintaro is of the same race of half-human dragons which spawned Goro. Enraged at his comrade's death at the hands of a mere mortal, Kintaro sought entrance to the tournament to seek revenge. Shao Kahn granted him this privilege in exchange for his servitude. Defeating Kintaro proves a warrior worthy of meeting Shao Kahn, supreme ruler of the Outworld, in battle. Defeat him to end his rule and become the supreme warrior in the Outworld realm. And you can see the ladder, the mountain of combatants you gotta face. They took out mirror matches in this game. Not mirror matches, the endurance matches where you had to face 2 people at the same time. They got rid of that. The Art of Combat 2, Warrior Wisdom, Patience. Yep, same thing as in the Game Boy version. Quick reference chart for 3 and 6 button controllers. And the Warrior Profile. So Kung Lao, a former Shaolin monk and member of the White Lotus Society, Kung Lao is the last descendant of the great Kung Lao, who was defeated by Goro 500 years ago, allowing the tournament to fall into Shang Tsung's evil hands. Realizing the danger the Outworld menace poses to all Earth, he joins Liu Kang in entering Shao Kahn's contest. So the special moves for 3 and 6 button controls, we'll just go over the 3 button controls. If you want to do a teleport, it's down up. A hat throw is away towards and punch. Bullet kick, down and high kick at the peak of any jump. Whirlwind spin, up, low kick, keep tapping low kick to keep spinning. Okay, then you have Johnny Cage. The world was shocked when martial arts movie star Johnny Cage disappeared from the set of his latest film, but in truth, he was following his former ally Liu Kang into the Outworld, where he plans to compete in a twisted tournament in which lies the balance of Earth's existence, as well as a script for another blockbuster movie. The special moves he has: green flame, a low green flame away to towards and punch, a high green flame towards to away and punch, shadow kick away towards low kick, shadow uppercut, away, down, away, and punch together. Low blow, block, and punch, which is also called the ball breaker. For those of you who remember that. Sub-Zero and Shang Tsung. Katana, we've already gone through. But if you want to morph as Kung Lao, you go away, down, away, high kick. Johnny Cage is away, down, low punch. Baraka's down, low kick. And Raiden is down, away, towards low kick. And you have Melina, which we already saw in the Game Boy version. Baraka. Baraka led the attack against Liu Kang's Shaolin Temple. He belongs to a nomadic race of mutants living in the wastelands of the Outworld. His fighting skills and dreaded blade fury gained the attention of Shao Kahn, who then recruited him into his army of destruction. So special moves, you can do a blade swipe, which is away and punch, blade spark, down to away and punch, blade fury, away, punch, double kick, tap high kick 2 times when close to your opponent. Then you have Scorpion. Raiden. Watching events unfold from high above, the mystic Raiden realizes the grim intentions of Shao Kahn. After warning the remaining warriors from the Shaolin tournament, Raiden soon disappears. He is believed to have ventured into the outworld alone. Special moves: Lightning Bolt, down to towards and punch. Flying Thunderbolt, away towards. Teleport, down up. Shock, hold punch for 3 seconds, then release when next to a standing opponent in 2-player mode only. So you can't do it in 1 player. The interesting note of Raiden, you see how it says TM trademark? Well, Raiden in Mortal Kombat 1, if you remember, was spelled with an I, but it copyrighted, or some company tried to sue Midway because they had a fighter named Raiden as well with an I, so they changed the I to a Y, and that's why Raiden is R-A-Y, not R-A-I. Kentaro. With Goro missing, Kentaro steps up to take his place as supreme ruler of Shao Kahn's armies. Stronger and more agile than his predecessor, he is enraged by Goro's defeat. Kentaro vows to take revenge on the Earth Warriors responsible. And then Shao Kahn. Okay. And then there's a notes section. And then the same advertisement for the Mortal Kombat character figurines. And then an advertisement for Maximum Carnage, which, by the way, is a great beat-em-up. If you haven't played it, you should. And coincidentally, it's made by LJN, Acclaim and LJN. And LJN, if you watch the AVGN videos, Angry Video Game Nerd, and other people, they hate LJN games, but that was one of the better ones that they've ever made. So that's Mortal Kombat 2. The last thing we're going to see from Mortal Kombat 2 is actually going to be the Sega Saturn version. Now, the version came out for the PS1, but only in Japan, is from what I've heard. So I could not find it. Otherwise, I'd buy it, and or for the U.S., I should say. There was no U.S. release, and I'm not going to buy a PS1 Japanese game. I have no use for it. So here's Mortal Kombat 2, just so you can see for the Saturn. This took me back a pretty penny. It's very rare to find a complete in-box copy like this. And obviously, graphically, it's going to be a lot better. It almost looks arcade perfect for the actual arcade. So you have that, and then you have the thing here. Let me just see what's in the instructions to see if there's anything else that may be cool or not. I think there might be what looks like a poster in here. Or did the instruction book fall apart? No, it fell apart. Okay. So you got the instructions, getting started, rules of the outworld, warrior wisdom, quick reference chart, and then the warrior profiles. So it's the same. Rules of the outworld. Interesting. Is this an extra page? Huh. This might not... What page does this say? 5. This is interesting. Yeah. Look at this. They printed... I have an extra page of 6 and 5. That's weird. So I'll put that in here like so. That's cool. Anyway, then we just go through. Yeah, they have the everybody's biography again. And then you have a warranty card right here, Mortal Kombat 2 Sega Saturn warranty card. So anyway, so that's that. Now, the second movie, again, I have this not in the correct order because the second movie did not come out after Mortal Kombat 2. I just put it with Mortal Kombat 2. I know now that it really should be near Mortal Kombat 4. That's when the second movie in theaters came out. Let me just move this here. So let's take a look. Now, this is still sealed. I've seen it. I didn't think to open it. There's no point. But it's Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Destroy all expectations. I remember seeing this movie in the theater with my father. And I remember my dad getting a kick out of it. There was a line where Jax called Motaro Mr. Ed. And my dad thought it was the funniest thing he ever heard. So, but in defiance of the Elder Lords, the evil Outworlders are back to wreak hell on Earth. Led by the mighty Shao Kahn, their gruesome goal is humanity's complete and utter extinction. Earth's last and only hope is the mighty martial arts warrior Liu Kang and his ferocious fighting friends. They're all that stand between life and annihilation. Special features include special jump to a fight feature, combatant biographies, 3D computer models, character sketches, and set designs. Now, Christopher Lambert could not be part of this movie. He was actually filming at the time they wanted to film this. He was filming 2 other movies, so he couldn't be part of it. James Remar played Raiden, and I didn't mind James Remar's performance. It was no Christopher Lambert by any stretch of the imagination. But this was... See, I have mixed reactions to this, and here's why. I didn't mind the movie when I saw it. I thought it was pretty cool. A lot of people, though, who understand movie making and who understand just like die-hard Mortal Kombat fans. And I want to say I'm one of them, but I guess I'm not as die-hard as some of these guys. Pretend this movie never existed. They said it was that bad. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was that horrible. Was it as good as the first? Not even close. But was it that horrible? I don't think so. I mean, you know. But anyway, Robin Chow reprises his role as Liu Kang. And then they introduced Sindel. Basically, MK2 and MK3 were morphed together into this movie, even though it didn't really follow the story at all, for the most part. But anyway, this is not a bad movie. Pick it up. You can actually find probably at Walmart for $5 or $10 both movies on one DVD. For collectors, the collector in me has to have each one. But this is still sealed. I've never planned on opening it because I've already seen the movie. So that's that. Next is Mortal Kombat 3. Okay? Here's the deal with Mortal Kombat 3. I thought the music in some of the stages, especially the stage where the candles are lighted up and it seems like this elegant ball or throne room, very gothic looking. That music on that stage was one of my favorite, if not my favorite of all time in the series. But I didn't like the game. I remember seeing it in the arcades, and I'm like, that's cool, but what happened? In my opinion, they ruined it. I mean, they entered the run button. Some people love it. Some people hate it, like myself. They entered a lot more combos to make it sort of like a chain combat fighter, like a Killer Instinct almost, or a, Tekken or something like that. The characters, there was a lot more characters. There weren't some... Johnny Cage was not in the third game. They got rid of him. He was dead, supposedly. One of the stages, in the graveyard stage, you'll see Johnny Cage's tombstone. Sonya, I don't think was in Mortal Kombat 3. Maybe she was. I'd have to double check again. They introduced Shiva, which was almost like a mini Goro / Kintaro playable character. The combatants for Mortal Kombat 3, at least in the home versions, Sonya is in Mortal Kombat 3, I'm just an idiot. So, Shang Tsung, who almost looks like he came out of a Crow movie. Sindel, Jax, Kano Kim comes back. Liu Kang, Sonya, Stryker, Sub-Zero, which is now called the second version of Sub-Zero, whereas now the original Sub-Zero is called the original Sub-Zero from 1 and 2. This is the original Sub-Zero's brother. They introduced Sector and Cyrax, two Lin Kuei ninjas who were programmed to be robots. Nightwolf, Shiva, which is that little, mini Goro playable type deal. Kung Lao and Cabal. They also added animalities. Babalities are back. Friendships are gone. Animalities replace friendships. There's one fighter hidden within the game as well. I think it's Noob Saibot. If I'm mistaken, please comment in the section below. But anyway, again, at the time, I did not have a Genesis still. And so the first game I ever got, Mortal Kombat 3-wise, was for the original Game Boy. Now, here it is again. Williams Entertainment merged with Midway, and they actually did this version, which took a huge step back, both... music-wise, playability-wise, it was pretty shitty. And the box itself, I bought this again on eBay just to complete my childhood collection. It's in bad shape, as you can see. I'm going to try to see if I can find another version. But get ready for the fight of your life. 8 selectable fighters, including 6 new characters, and 1 fighter hidden within the game. Watch out for this dude. The largest Game Boy fighters ever, so you can really get into the action. 5 direct from the arcade backgrounds to keep you jumping, so they added 5 stages to this, not the 2 and 3 from before. Secret portals that allow you to smash up and down into different backgrounds for the ultimate bi-level battlefield. New fatalities and babalities. Intense, fully digitized fighters for the most realistic action you've ever encountered. Plunge into the darkness. It's your fight. It's your life. Mortal Kombat 3. And rated mature for realistic blood and gore, realistic violence. Gameplay on the Game Boy Compact video game system. As you can see, there 3. Now, the fighters for the Game Boy version were Sindel, Cyrax, Cabal, Shiva, Sub-Zero, Kano, Sonya, and Sector. The other thing is, Scorpion was not part of Mortal Kombat 3. They took out Scorpion, and Raiden still, again, had not... Raiden was also out of Mortal Kombat 3. So was Baraka and everything else. So if we open up the game, again, pretty complete, if you will. You have the case, you have the game, Williams warranty registration card, and then the instruction booklet, which is in pretty good shape. You just see if there's any basic moves, close quarters, uppercuts, spinning moves, aerial moves, special moves. They also, secret codes were introduced in Mortal Kombat 3, especially in the arcade, which basically had you, in versus mode, had you try to input codes to change gameplay mechanics, which again I wasn't really thrilled with when I saw it. So here are the codes. There's 9 different codes. There's a dragon symbol, an MK symbol, a yin-yang symbol, a 3 symbol, a question mark symbol, a lightning symbol, a Goro symbol, a Raiden symbol, a Shao Kahn symbol, and a skull symbol. So, there is no knowledge that is not power. You have been chosen to represent Earth in Mortal Kombat. Be warned, for although your souls are safe from Shao Kahn's evil, your lives are not. I can no longer interfere, as your Earth is now ruled by the Outworld gods. These are the words of Raiden. For centuries, Earth has used Mortal Kombat to defend itself against the Outworld's Emperor Shao Kahn. But Kahn grows frustrated by failed attempts to take Earth through a tournament battle. He enacts a plan which began 10,000 years ago. During that time, Shao Kahn had a queen. Her name was Sindel, and her early death was unexpected. Khan's shadow priest, led by Shang Tsung, made it so Sindel's spirit would someday be reborn, not on the Outworld, but on the Earth realm itself. This unholy act gives Shao Kahn the power to step through the dimensional gates and reclaim his queen, thus enabling him to finally seize the Earth realm. Upon breaching the portal into Earth, Shao Kahn slowly transforms the planet into a part of the Outworld. He strips the Earth of all human life, claiming every soul as his own. But there are souls which Kahn cannot take. These souls belong to the warriors chosen to represent Earth in the new Mortal Kombat. The remaining humans are scattered throughout the planet. Shao Kahn sends an army of fierce Outworld warriors to find and eliminate them. Some of Earth's warriors survive the attacks, most do not, but the remaining few hold the one chance at saving all of humankind. So, this is pretty cool. This has a graph of Earth's forces. In this loose genealogy, most characters are not blood-related except by dint of the blood that they've spilled. To that end, the Earth forces are no more virtuous than the Outworlders and still fight each other if no worse enemy is around. And the gray box indicates character of former episode not represented in MK3, so this is pretty cool. So you have Raiden, God of Thunder, who goes down to Kano, who's an itinerant thief, Cabal, a nomadic warrior, and Raiden then splits off to the left. Liu Kang, who's not an MK3, he's a Shaolin monk. Kung Lao is a Shaolin monk who's not an MK3. And then it branches. Raiden again goes into Jax, who's not an MK3. But Sonya is, Major U.S. Army, and Sonya's a lieutenant in the U.S. Army. Then Raiden branches down into the middle, and Nightwolf, who's not an MK3, was a Shaman warrior. Stryker... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Nightwolf. Stryker is not an MK3 in this game. He's a SWAT officer. Johnny Cage, martial arts actor, is not represented in MK3. Sub-Zero, Lin Kuei Ninja. Scorpion, Lin Kuei Ninja. Cyrax, LK-44, Cyber Ninja. Sector, LK-99, Cyber Ninja. And Smoke, who's a Cyber Ninja. So Smoke is the hidden character in Mortal Kombat 3. These guys are part of the game. That's the problem. Okay, so Liu Kang, is he part of MK3? What did I do with this? He is. Okay, so basically all this is saying is, hey, these are Earth's forces. They're all part of MK3, but for the Game Boy itself, they're not part of MK3. So Liu Kang is not in this version. Kung Lao is not in this version. Jax is not in this version. Raiden is not in this version. Nightwolf, Stryker, Cage, and Scorpion are not part of the Game Boy version. And then the Outworld forces. The Outworld loyalties are constantly in flux, fueled by the hatred and mistrust of the centuries. Adding to the chaos is the penchant of Shao Kahn to pervert the motives of all he encounters in order to find a portal to the Earth for his own nefarious ends. So the Outworld forces are Shao Kahn, who's the Outworld overlord, followed by Sindel, who's the queen of Outworld. Then branches to Shang Tsung, who's a sorcerer, Reptile, who's Sorcerer's bodyguard. Then Sindel branches to Katana, who's Sindel's daughter, Melina, who's Katana's half-sister. And then Shao Kahn goes all the way down here to Motaro, who's a Centaurian warrior. And again, the sub-boss is not part of the Game Boy game. Baraka, who's a nomadic mutant. And then here he branches to the right, which is Goro, a four-armed Shokan. Now, Goro obviously is not part of MK3. Kentaro, a four-armed Shokan, who is not part of MK3. And Shiva, a Shokan female. And then that's the playable character that's sort of like them. And then Jade is a hidden green ninja, and Noob Saibot is a hidden black ninja. And then you have the biographies of everybody. Cyrax is Unit LK-44, the second of 3 prototype cybernetic ninjas built by Lin Kuei. Like his counterpart, Cyrax's last program command is to find and terminate the rogue ninja Sub-Zero. Without a soul, Cyrax goes undetected by Shao Kahn and remains a possible threat against his occupation of Earth. Then you have Cabal. As a chosen warrior, his identity is a mystery to all. It's believed that he is a survivor of an attack by Shao Kahn's extermination squads. As a result, he is viciously scarred and kept alive only by artificial respirators in a rage for ending Shao Kahn's conquest. Kano. Kano is thought to have been killed in the first tournament. Instead, he's found alive in the Outworld, where he once again escapes capture by Sonya. Before the actual Outworld invasion, Kano convinces Shao Kahn to spare his soul. Kahn needs someone to teach his warriors how to use Earth's weapons, and Kano is the man to do it. Shiva. She was handpicked by Shao Kahn to serve as Sindel's personal protector. However, she becomes suspicious of Shao Kahn's loyalty towards her race of Shokan when he places Motaro as leader of his extermination squads. On the Outworld, Motaro's race of Centurions are the natural enemy of the Shokan. Sector. Sector is actually the code name for Unit LK-99. He was the first of 3 prototype cybernetic ninjas built by the Lin Kuei. Sector was once a human assassin trained by the Lin Kuei. He volunteered for automation because of his loyalty to the clan. Sector survives the Outworld invasion. He has no soul to take. Sindel. She once ruled the Outworld at Shao Kahn's side as his queen. Now, 10,000 years after her untimely death, she is reborn on Earth. Her evil intent is every match for Shao Kahn's tyranny. She is the key to his occupation of Earth. Sonya. Sonya Blade disappears in the first tournament, but is later rescued from the Outworld by Jax. After returning to Earth, she and Jax try to warn the U.S. government of the looming Outworld menace. Lacking proof, they watch helplessly as Shao Kahn begins his invasion. Sub-Zero. The ninja returns unmasked. He was betrayed by his own ninja clan, the Lin Kuei. He broke the sacred codes of honor by leaving the clan and is marked for death. But unlike the ninja of old, his pursuers come as machines. He must not only defend against the Outworld menace, but must also elude his soulless assassins. Smoke. Third of the 3 prototype cybernetic ninjas, Smoke's unit designator was erased in a computer crash. Lost as he is to software control, no one can be sure that he will complete his ultimate programming, i.e. kill Sub-Zero. So he is somewhat of a wild card in the tournament deck. And then Shao Kahn. Many decades ago, Shao Kahn rose to power in the Outworld, usurping the realm from Katana's parents and taking Queen Sindel for his bride. But she died. Now, centuries later, Sindel is reborn. And since Shang Tsung failed to win the Earth realm through Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, her rebirth is the means by which Kahn will finally seize the planet forever. Unless... And then that's it. So, that's MK3. At least for the Game Boy. Now, the Game Gear version of MK3 only got released in Europe. It did not get released in the US. I've seen people on YouTube play it, and I know why. I mean, it is horrific. Like, it almost looked like the game was never finished. Like it was never finished at all. That's why it never got released in the US. Here's obviously Mortal Kombat 3 for the Genesis. And on the back you have the screenshots here. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly open this, grab the instruction booklet, see if anything's different here. So you got getting started. They got an old school Sega Genesis, it looks like right there. Fighting summary, options, controls, close quarters, special moves, spinning moves, aerial moves, secret codes. Earth forces and Outworld forces, obviously, just like before. Jax. After failing to convince his superiors of the coming Outworld menace, Jax begins to covertly prepare for future battle with Khan's minions. He outfits both arms with indestructible bionic implants. This is a war that Jax is prepared to win. And you have Kung Lao. After avenging the death of his great ancestor by emerging supreme champion against all Outworld opponents, Kung Lao returns to Earth to train a new generation of Shaolin alongside Liu Kang. But Lao's greatest challenges lie ahead, fighting for those who cannot defend themselves against Shao Kahn's treachery. Liu Kang. After the Outworld invasion, Liu Kang finds himself the prime target of Khan's extermination squads. He is the Shaolin champion and has thwarted Khan's schemes in the past. Of all the humans, Kang possesses the greatest threat to Shao Kahn's rule. Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung is Shao Kahn's lead sorcerer. He once fell out of favor with his emperor after failing to win the Earth Realm through tournament battle, but the ever-scheming Shang Tsung is instrumental in Khan's conquest of Earth. He has now been granted more power than ever. Nightwolf. He works as a historian and preserver of his people's culture. When Khan's portal opens over North America, Nightwolf uses the magic of his shaman to protect his tribe's sacred land. This area becomes a vital threat to Khan's occupation of the Earth. Sindel. She once ruled the Outworld at Shao Kahn's side as his queen. Now, 10,000 years after her untimely death, she is reborn on Earth. Her evil intent is every match for Shao Kahn's tyranny. She is the key to his occupation of Earth. Sonya Blade disappears. We already read about Sonya Blade in the first tournament, but is later rescued from the Outworld by Jax. After returning to Earth, she and Jax try to warn the U.S. government of the looming Outworld menace. Lacking proof, they watch helplessly as Shao Kahn begins his invasion. Stryker. When the Outworld portal opens over a large city in North America, panic and chaos rage out of control. Curtis Stryker was the leader of a riot control brigade when Shao Kahn began taking souls. He finds himself the lone survivor of a city once populated by millions. Motaro. In the realm of the Outworld, Motaro's race of Centurions has long since come into conflict with the Shao Kahn. When Shao Kahn formed special extermination squads to eliminate the chosen warriors of Earth, Motaro was appointed to head this elite group of savage warriors. He's an unplayable character. And then you have Shao Kahn here. And then you've played it, you've seen it, now live it. Mortal Kombat Live Tour featuring warriors from MK, MK2, and MK3. The most innovative live touring show ever for adults and children of all ages, fully interactive with big screen lasers and illusions. The most extravagant stunts ever seen on stage with the world's greatest martial artists. MK3 exclusive codes only at the show. Produced by David Fishoff Presents. Executive producers Larry Kasanoff, Danny Simon, not sponsored by Sega. And there's a coupon redeemable for $2 off full admission price tickets. So, that is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 of the Mortal Kombat collection. We will be going through Mortal Kombat 4 and onward. Mortal Kombat 3 for the PS1, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and then onward. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, check out the next video.